One of my favourite moments when playing a video game is that moment when you just click with the game. You might recognise that the game has some flaws, but you simply don't care. You may see that the game has average review scores or that it didn't live up to exactly what fans wanted, but again, you just don't care. Well, that was my experience when playing Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm not even a die-hard fan of the Assassin's Creed games, if even a fan at all, which I think maybe worked in my favour here, as I didn't have any expectations based on previous experience with the AC games. But when I saw the trailer for the game, and heard that it was going back to the stealthy roots of the series, I was intrigued, because it felt like it had been a hot minute since we got a proper stealth game. I'm sure there's been some decent indie games or AAA games that employ stealth mechanics, but I'm talking about a AAA game that fully commits to stealth gameplay. I wanted a game with a decent budget where I could sneak around various bases past guards or silently take them out when need be with a range of weapons and tools, and that's exactly what Assassin's Creed Mirage fulfilled for me. I absolutely love all the weapons and equipment this game gives you to play with, whether it's landing a headshot with a throwing knife, setting a trap on the floor for a guard to trigger, using noisemakers to distract guards as I move past them undetected, and so on. This game just reminded me why stealth is my favourite genre of video games, while also reminding me how unfortunate it is that the genre has been lacking in recent years. I was also pleasantly surprised with how smooth the parkour felt in this game. This is something I usually bump up against in Assassin's Creed games, where it feels like I'm fighting against the level design. I love the verticality it offers to the stealth gameplay, allowing you to sneak overhead past guards, perform assassinations from up high, or even from below the ledge of a wall. It just feels really fun to traverse the city of Baghdad, which I feel is essential to open world games. One of my biggest gripes in open world games is boring and tedious traversal. If I'm simply just sprinting or riding a horse to a destination, I can't wait until I'm able to fast travel to escape the boredom. But in this game, I barely use fast travel at all. The whole city just feels like playing a really fun 3D platformer at times. I couldn't help but be reminded of playing Prince of Persia, a game series which I absolutely loved back in the day, and Ubisoft are definitely appealing to those fans by allowing you to purchase weapons and costumes themed after the games, which I definitely bought. The game also has an aesthetic that I really vibe with. I'm a sucker for anything set in a historical Middle Eastern or North African setting. There's just something about the architecture and design of everything from the weapons to clothing, which I'm absolutely hooked on. And with this game being set in 9th century Baghdad during the Islamic Golden Age, it absolutely hits that mark with me. Whether it's the sandstone coloured houses, the grand buildings with their colourful domed roofs, or the surrounding desert, I just love existing in this game. I even decided to switch the voice language to Arabic, which I'm so glad was an option. I'm never really a fan of when games set in a non-English speaking location have English speaking characters. They just don't feel authentic, which was the case for me when the game started in the default English language setting. The characterization of Basim in Arabic compared to English was night and day. It just sounds so much cooler and mature in Arabic, so I had to give props to the voice actor Ayad Nassar for his great performance. The only downside for me was losing Sheree Agdashlu's voice for the English dub, as she has such a distinctive and incredible voice. I also really like the pacing of the progression in this game. You have a skill tree to complete, which is split into 3 sections known as Phantom, Trickster, and Predator, which, I'm sure you can tell from the names, cover different aspects of the gameplay. You're also able to upgrade your weapons and tools to be more effective, such as increasing the area of effect for traps, or the duration of effectiveness from asleep darts. What I particularly like with the tool upgrades is that you have a variety of upgrades to choose from, allowing you to mix up your playstyle. The overall progression kept the game from growing stale, and fed nicely into the narrative of Basim becoming a master assassin. I'm also a sucker for outfit and costume changes in games, and AC Mirage gave such a variety to try out. Some which you could earn in game and others which you could purchase. After all, this is modern Ubisoft. It's another element of the game which just keeps it interesting for me. Whether it's wearing the different colour combinations for Basim's Initiate of the Element outfit, which all look beautiful, or wearing costumes from other games like the original Altair costume. It's a small thing, but again, it just keeps the game from ever feeling stale for me. I also have to give a mention to the music in this game, because my god is it just epic. The main theme alone is a work of art. I'm not a musician, but the way it fuses traditional Middle Eastern instruments with a modern electronic touch is phenomenal. Just check out the drop in the main theme. But even just the ambient music that plays throughout gameplay is also fitting. Again, it has that Middle Eastern vibe, but with a stealthy touch to it, and I just love it. I had to give massive props to Brendan Angelidis and the team behind this incredible soundtrack. To be honest, it's strange trying to capture my feelings for this game. As I write the script for this video and revise it over and over again, it doesn't feel like I can quite get across what it is exactly about this game. Perhaps I just need to work on my writing skills, but honestly, I think sometimes the best gaming experiences are the ones you do struggle to put into words. As I said at the start of the video, there was just something about Assassin's Creed Mirage that I just clicked with, and to be honest, it's my personal game of the year for 2023, which sounds fucking insane when you consider the huge amount of quality games we got, as well as the fact that I wouldn't even consider myself a fan of the series. All I can say is that I'm so glad Ubisoft added a new Game Plus option to the game, as I'm still having a blast playing through the game with all my skills and equipment from the original playthrough. If anyone from Ubisoft is watching who worked on this game, if you could work on some DLC expansions for this game, then that would be swell, as I'd love more reasons to keep returning to this game. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Assassin's Creed Mirage. Did you also click with the game, or was it a disappointment for you? Let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.